To develop effective and meaningful learning ladders that are useful and accurate, we must understand how we learn, and then use this understanding as a framework by which to break down our intended learning path into logical and progressive, smaller, bite-sized chunks. One way to do this is to use what is called the Solo Learning Taxonomy. SOLO stands for Structure of Observed Learning Outcomes. It describes 5 stages of learning with symbols that describe the type of learning at each stage visually. So what does it look like? The first stage of learning is pre-structural. The learner has little or no knowledge on the subject or topic to start with. Even with this limited knowledge, the task may be attempted, but due to the lack of any broader or deeper understanding, the learner needs help to start. The second stage of learning is unistructural. At this stage, one aspect of the task or topic is picked up. The learner is beginning to build up basic knowledge, understanding, or a skill, but this understanding is limited and stands on its own, disconnected to anything else. The third stage of learning is multistructural. Now the learner has built an understanding of several aspects of the task, but their relationships to each other and the whole are missed, and the learner still requires support from teacher as their learning develops further. The fourth stage of learning is relational. The learner now builds an understanding of how all the various parts are linked and contribute to a deeper understanding of the whole. The learner now works more independently and requires less support from the teacher. The final stage of learning is extended abstract. This final stage is reached when new understanding is rethought and looked at in a new way and used as the basis to predict, generalize, reflect, or to independently develop new understanding. Let's use a scenario of Lego model building to demonstrate this learning model in action. In this analogy, the person building the model is the learner and the instructions play the role of the teacher. Pre-structural. The learner has little or no knowledge on the subject or topic to start with. They haven't read the instructions and are faced with some unknown pieces of Lego. Unistructural. The learner has begun to read the instructions and can now make some use of their understanding by fixing 2 pieces together. Multistructural. Now the learner can use the instructions to build complex sections of the model separately, but cannot yet see the model as a whole. Relational. The learner now brings the parts together and uses the instructions less as the whole picture becomes clearer. Extended abstract. The learner is now so confident in their understanding that they're able to explore and experiment without the instructions and create an entirely new model from their own imagination. See if you can use this model to create your own learning ladder of a topic within one of your own subjects so that you can begin to fly solo.